Well, hello and how are you? Hey, friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you live right here in Central Missouri. Hey, you know what? Today's Wednesday, November the 8th, 2023. We got a happy birthday shout out going out to Tammy, Delfel, Ludwig, and Frank Ferguson. So, without further ado, hey, Tammy. Hey, Frank. Hey, you heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another year gone away. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. Today. I said, hey, Frank. Hey, Tammy. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another trip around the sun that you made. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. Today. It's your happy birthday day today. Happy birthday to the two of you and many, many, many more. All right. Alrighty then. How about them Shen Show shout outs to the Shen Show fans? That's right. We got them, folks. We got fans and we like to acknowledge the fact we do. How about Keith Woodfin? That's right. Good old Keith Woodfin. Keith is a good friend of mine from grammar school, and I think we made it to high school together too. But for sure, in grammar school, we used to be in Mr. Hartle's gym class. Boy, brings back the memories, doesn't it, Keith? And then Richie Humarito. That's right, Richie. She's been around old Facebook here for quite some time. We got a chance to talk quite a bit. She got herself a new hubby now, so she's more than happy. Ken and Becky Tackett, well, I'll tell you what, they are some church members of mine. Becky started out as a good friend of mine's mother. Yeah, she certainly did. Matter of fact, right after my accident, they called her first. Instead of calling my mom and dad, that was the number I had given them. So there you go. Anyway, uh, and then there's Richie. No, let's see. Also, Savann Murphy Beason. Can't forget her. She's been a loyal, uh, t- t- well, a loyal Shen Show fan, plus also the Bible with Briscoe fan for a long time. So gotta love it. So is Richie. Richie has been loyal Bible with Briscoe fan also. So can't forget that. And then my Pokey pals, Amanda Sue Little. She's been around for quite some time. And Joseph Marshall, both of which I prefer to poke whenever I get repoked. And Amy L. Miller. She's a reoccurring poker. And uh, Julie Rigot. I don't see her name on there. Oh, there she is. Julie Rigot, also one of my Pokey pals. So those are your special return pokes right now. I don't see her name on there. We're gonna fix that. Wake up, Julie Rigot. Go to sleep. Okay, there we go. Had to put it on the list. Aha, she weren't there. She weren't there. But there you go. There's your special return, folks. And thanks, folks, for being fans, loyal fans of the Shin Show. I really appreciate you. I really, really do. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and edit that from old bar. Cut that. Wake up. Cut that. Paste that. Select all. Paste that. Go to sleep. There we go. Got her done. We got her done. All right, hey, let's see about weather forecast for the remainder of the day. I'm telling you what, folks, I don't know what time of year this is, but I think it's confused. Our temperature today, the high temperature, I mean, I'm telling you, folks, it was crazy. 83 degrees, 84 by my phone, but 83 here it says in the Weather Channel, on the Weather Channel here. It was 83 high today. It's still 80 degrees out there. Sun's already going down, and it's still 80 degrees. So, bo, 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 bo. Doopy doopy doo 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 doo. Oops. And whoopsie daisy doo. Why did it jump on way past you? All right, here we go. For the remainder of the day, we're going to have some clouds. Well, yeah, some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies overnight. Low temperatures of 46 degrees go from 80 to 46. Just crazy. All right. 46 degrees Fahrenheit with winds north to northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then for tomorrow, Thursday, November the 9th, mixture of clouds and sunshine early, then becoming cloudy later in the day. High temperatures of 61 degrees Fahrenheit with winds north to northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then cloudy overnight, low temperatures of 41 degrees Fahrenheit with winds light and variable west at about 3 miles per hour. Then for Friday, November the 10th, sunny skies with high temperatures of 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies overnight with low temperatures of 34 degrees Fahrenheit with winds light and variable at northeast at about 4 miles per hour. And then Saturday, November the 11th, mostly sunny skies. Veterans Day, that is, folks. Mostly sunny skies. High temperatures near 58 degrees Fahrenheit with winds east to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies overnight. Low temperatures near 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be light and variable east at about 5 miles per hour. And then for Sunday, November the 12th, sunny skies with high temperatures of 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies overnight with low temperatures of 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be light variable again, south to southwest at about 4 miles per hour. Then for our fifth and final day of our 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area, Monday, November the 13th. Sunny skies with high temperatures near 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies overnight with low temperatures of 37 degrees Fahrenheit and winds light and variable at north to northeast 3 miles per hour. And there you have it, friends. That is your 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. All right. Well, alrighty then. Alrighty then. We're going to sing a song. If y'all want to sing along, it's called the drinking song. If you don't like to sing along, song lyrics, the drinking song. Well, that ain't it. That ain't the song I was thinking of. I was drunk that day, my mama. No. Let's see. Song lyrics, you don't have to call me darling. You never even call me by my name. That's the name of it. Yeah. I missed my mark. Well, it was all I could do to keep from crying. Sometimes it seemed so useless to remain. But you don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even called me by my name. You don't have to call me Waylon Jennings. You don't have to call me Charlie Pride. And you don't have to call me Merle Haggard anymore. Even though you're on my fighting side, and I'll hang around as long as you will let me. And I never minded standing in the rain. But you don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even called me by my name. Well, I've heard my name in a few times in your phone book. Hello, hello. And I've seen it on signs where I have played. But the only time I know I'll hear David Allen Gold is when Jesus has his final judgment day. And so I'll hang around as long as you will let me. And I never minded standing in the rain. But you don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even call me by my name. Well, a friend of mine named Steve Goodman wrote that song, and he told me it was the perfect country western song. And I wrote him back a letter, and I told him that it was not the perfect country western song because he hadn't said anything about mama or trains or trucks or prison or getting drunk. Well, he sat down and he wrote another verse to the song. Well, he sent it to me, and after reading it, I realized that my friend had written the perfect country western song. And so I felt obliged and included it on this here album. And the last verse goes like this. Well, I was drunk the day my mama got out of prison, and I went to pick her up in the rain. But before I could get to the station in my pickup truck, she got ran over by a danged old train. And I'll hang around as long as you will let me. And I never minded standing in the rain. No, but you don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even call me. Well, I wonder why you don't call me. Why don't you ever call me by my name? Oh, darling, why can't you call me by my name? There you go. Da-da-do-do-do. We're going to try this one here. While I was thumbing my way from Montgomery, I had my guitar on my back when a stranger stopped beside me in an antique Cadillac. But he was dressed like 1950, half drunk and hollow-eyed. He said, "It's a long walk to Nashville. Would you like a ride, sir?" And I sat down in the front seat, and he turned on that radio, and them sad old songs coming out of them speakers was solid country gold. Then I noticed the stranger was ghost white pale when he asked me for a light, and I knew that there was something strange about this ride. He said, "Drifter, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Have you been them guitar strings? He said, boy, can you make folks feel what they feel inside? 'Cause if you dig starbound, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride. Then he tried just south of Nashville, and he turned that car around. He says, this is where you get off, boy, 'cause I'm going back to Alabama. I stepped out of that Cadillac. I said, Mister, many thanks. He says, you don't have to call me Mister. The whole world calls me Hank. And he said, Drifter, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? And you bend them guitar strings? Because let me tell you, if you're big star bound, it's a long, hard ride. He said, Drifter, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings? He said, boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? 'Cause if you're big star bound, it, let me tell you, it's a long, hard ride. If you're big star bound, let me tell you, it's a long, hard ride. You know, you got a lot of competition out there. Now, the sound it ain't like it was in the 50s when I was around. But you got Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, you got Charlie Clark and Billy, Joe Schaefer, and David Allen Cole. And you even got my son out there. Wow, that even Joe Acme. Yep, buddy. Do ba ba do ba do that do. Get it boom ba ba boom. Get it boom da 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 da. I'm going to looking back Texas. Song lyrics, Lukenbach, Texas. The only two things in life that make it worth living is guitars and tunes, good and firm feeling women. I don't need my name in the marquee lights. I got my song and I got you with me tonight. Maybe it's time we got back to the basics of love. Let's go to Luckenbach, Texas with Waylon, Willie, and the boys. This sexual life we're living has got us feeling like the Hatfields and McCoys. Between Hank Williams' pain songs and Newberry's train songs, Blue Eyes crying in the rain. Out in Lukenbach, Texas, ain't nobody feeling no pain. So, baby, let's see your diamond ring. Buy some boots, and let's sell your diamond ring. Buy some boots and some faded jeans, and go away. This coat and tie is choking me. In your high society, you cry all day. We've been so busy keeping up with Joneses for car garage, and we're still building on. Maybe it's time we got back to the basics of love. Let's go to Luckenbach, Texas, with Waylon, Willie, and the boys. This successful life we're living has got us feuding like the Hatfields and McCoys. Between Hank Williams' pain songs, Newberry's train songs, and Blue Eyes crying in the rain. Out up in Luckenbach, Texas, ain't nobody feeling no pain. Let's go to Luckenbach, Texas, with Willie and Waylon and the boys. This successful life we're living It's got us feuding like the Hatfields and Sam McCall. Between Hank Williams' pain songs and Jerry Jeff's train songs, Blue Eyes crying in the rain. Out in Buttonbach, Texas, ain't nobody feeling no pain. Ain't nobody feeling no pain. Do 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 up bop bop. Yeah, try it. Don't know it very well. I've been down to Mississippi, down through New Orleans. Yes, I have. I've played in California. There ain't too much I haven't seen. No, there ain't. Lord, I'm a rambling man. Don't mess around with any old rambling man. No. Now we're gonna do something else over here. We're gonna flip this one up, flip it on. Let's just hear what we need to see. This here's right out of the good old days. Hey, y'all out there ready to reminisce about some of the good old days? Just a good old boys. I never meaning no harm. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Well, beating all you saw. Uh, been in trouble with the law since the day they were born. Straighten the curves, yeah, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might give them, but the law never will. Making their way the only way they know how, and that's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Making their way the only way they know how, yeah, and that's just a little bit more than the law will allow. I'm a good old boy. You know my mama loves me, but she don't understand. They keep showing my hands and not my face on TV. I just good old boys. I never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they were born. All right, all right, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do 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 do. Bye bye. It's a day. Let's see. There's another song I was thinking about a few minutes ago that I thought about singing, and I can't think of what it was. Down in the valley so low, hang your head over, hear the wind blow. Song lyrics down in the valley. Da da dee. Hang your head over and hear the wind blow. Roses love sunshine, violets love dew, angels in heaven know I love you. Now I love you, dear. Know I love you. Angels in heaven know I love you. If you don't love me, love whom you please. Throw your arms around me. Give my hearty, give my hearty's love. Give my hearty. Throw your arms around me. Give my hearty. Build me a castle 40 feet high, so I can see him as he rides by, as he rides by, my love, as he rides by, so I can see him as he rides by. Write me a letter, send it by mail, send it in care of the Birmingham jail. Birmingham jail, love, Birmingham jail. Send it in care of the Birmingham jail. Well, there you go. Down. I was thinking there was another song to be sung. I was thinking I'd like to sing along. How about a story song? We like those, don't we? We're going to do Teddy Bear. Song lyrics, Teddy Bear, Red Soul Vine. I was on the outskirts of a little southern town, trying to reach my destination before the sun went down. The old CB was a blaring away on channel 19. Then there came a little boy's voice on the radio line. He says, "Breaker, breaker, 19, is anyone there?" Oh, come on back, truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear. Well, I keyed up the mic and I says, "You got it, Teddy Bear." And the little boy's voice came back on the air. "Appreciate the break. Who we got out on that end?" Well, I told him my handle, and then he began. "Now, I'm not supposed to bother you fellas out there. Mom says you're busy and for me to stay off the air. But you see, it gets kind of lonely, and it helps to talk, 'cause that's about all I can do. I'm crippled and I can't walk." Well, I keyed up the mic and I told him to fire up that mic, and I'd just talk with him as long as he liked. And then, "This was my dad's radio," the little boy said, "but I guess it's mine and Mama's now, 'cause my daddy's dead. Daddy had a wreck out on about a month ago, and he was trying to get home in a blinding snow. Mom has to work now to make ends meet, and I'm not much help with my two crippled feet. She says not to worry, that we'll make it all right, but I hear her crying sometimes late at night. You know, there's just one thing I want more than anything else to see. Oh, but I know you guys are too busy to bother with me. But you see, my dad used to take me for rides when he was at home, but I guess that's all over now since my daddy is gone." Not one breaker came on that old CB as the little crippled boy talked with me. I tried hard to swallow a lump that just wouldn't stay down as I thought about my boy back in Greenville town. Dad was going to take Mom and me with him later on this year. Why, I remember him saying, "Someday this old red truck will be yours, Teddy Bear. But I know I'll never get to ride in an 18-wheeler again. But this old base will keep me in touch with my trucker friends." Well, Teddy Bear is going to back on out now and leave you alone, 'cause, well, it's about time for my mom to come home. But you give me a shout whenever you're passing through, and I'll sure be happy to come back to you. Well, I came back on and I says, "Before you go 1010, what's your home 20, little CB friend?" Well, he gave me his address, and I didn't hesitate. This hot load of freight was just going to have to wait. I turned that truck around on a dime and I headed straight to Jackson Street, 229. And as I rounded the corner, oh, I got one heck of a shot. Oof, oof. 18-wheelers were lined up for 3 city blocks. Well, I guess every driver from miles around had caught that teddy bear's call, and that little crippled boy, he was having a ball. For as fast as one driver would carry him in, another would carry him to his truck and take off again. Well, you better believe it, I took my turn at riding Teddy Bear, and then I carried him back in and put him down in his chair. And, buddy, I tell you, if I never live to see happiness again, I want you to know that I saw it that day in the face of that little man. Well, we took up a collection for him before his mama got home. Each driver said his goodbyes, and then they all were gone. He shook my hand with a mile-long grin, and he says, "So long, trucker, I'll catch you again." Well, I hit the interstate with tears in my eyes. I turned on the radio, and I got another surprise. "Breaker 19," came a voice on the air. "Just one word of thanks from Mama Teddy Bear. We wish you each and every one a special prayer for you, 'cause you just made my little boy's dreams come true. Now I'll sign off now before I start to cry. May God ride with you 10-4 and goodbye." There you go. Had to do it. Alrighty. That looks like it. That's it. That's all. We're gonna do story time with the kids. Story time with TV Grandpa. Story time with TV Grandpa. We done. We done. We done. Here, let's get rid of that thing. That didn't do up and down. That didn't do up up. Did it do that did it do? Ba da da did do up boo ba 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 ba. There we go. That's one I was looking for. Bedtime stories for kids. 5-minute stories, that is. Alrighty, here we go. We done Cinderella yesterday. Let's do Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Alright? Alrighty. Here we go, kiddos. Hey, it's TV Grandpa, and I'm going to say, jump up on the couch or jump up on the bed. Wherever it is, you rest your sleepy little head. 'Cause TV Grandpa is about to lull you off to sleep with another refreshing story about something sweet. Alrighty then, here we go. You ready? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This is a fairy tale story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This classic tale is regimented with a modern twist on what it means to be fair. Here we go. Here we go. Once upon a time, a princess named Snow White lived in the castle with her father, the king, and her stepmother, the queen. Her father had always said to his daughter that she must be fair to everyone. At court, said he, people come here to the castle when they have a problem. They need the ruler to make a fair decision. Nothing is more important than to be fair. Well, the queen, Snow White's stepmother, knew how much this meant to her husband. At the first chance, she rushed to her magic mirror, and she said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall," said the queen, "who's the fairest of them all?" Well, Snow White is the fairest of them all, said the magic mirror. What? Yelled the queen. You know one is more fair than I. The queen must have the best of everything. Everyone knows that. What could be more fair? Snow White is the fairest of them all, repeated the magic mirror. What do you know? You're a mirror, roared the queen, and she stormed off. Still the queen was bothered. She so bothered was she that the queen decided to be rid of the girl once and for all. I cannot wait another day, she declared. The queen called for her servant, a huntsman. Find a reason to take Snow White deep into the woods, and she said, pointing her long finger at the servant. Then kill her. The huntsman was shocked, but she was the queen, and what could he do? The next day he took Snow White into the woods. As he drew his knife to slay her, Snow White turned around. Look, she said, taking something out of her pocket. You have always been good to me. She held in front of him 6 perfect arrowheads that she had carefully shaped. Do you like them? She said. They are for you. Snow White, said the huntsman, I cannot do this. Of course you can. Take these, said Snow White. And I cannot do this. Oh, of course you can. Take these, said Snow White. That's not what I meant, said the servant. He dropped to his knees. How can I say this to you? The queen, your stepmother, ordered me to kill you, he said, but I cannot. She did what? Snow White called out with alarm. You must run away, said the huntsman, far into the woods, now, and never come back to the castle. Now Snow White turned and she ran into the woods as fast as she could. Deeper and deeper she ran. It was getting dark, and the wolves were starting to howl. She tripped, and her skirt was torn. Tall trees' branches seemed to reach down to the very ground to grab at her. She was scared, and she was scratched, and she was bleeding and scared, and yet she ran on and on. Then, all of a sudden, far away, there was a light. Who was living so deep in the woods? She stepped up closer. It was a cottage. Yet no uh, no sound came from the cottage, only light from the windows. Hello, she said, knocking softly on the door. Hello. No answer. The door was a little bit open. She opened it some more and stepped in. Hello, is there anyone home? She looked around. What a mess. She had never seen a messier living room. This cottage may be the biggest mess I have ever seen, she thought, but it's a roof over my head for tonight. Maybe if I clean up around here, I can earn my keep. So as she cleaned, she thought of something she already missed. Before her father had remarried, she and a prince who lived in the next kingdom were getting to know each other quite well. They would take long walks in the royal garden and tell each other stories and laugh. After the queen had moved into the castle, her stepmother had made a new rule. No more visitors. Now the princess had to slip over the palace gate in secret, and he would call out to her from under her window, and they could talk a bit that way. It wasn't as good as the long walks, but it was the best way they could manage. Now that she had to run away from home, would she ever see him again? After Snow White cleaned up the living room, she went upstairs. On the second floor, there were 7 little beds lined up in a row, as if for children. Tired from cleaning, Snow White yawned and lay across all 7 of the beds, and soon she fell asleep. In the meantime, the 7 dwarfs were heading home from a long day of work in the jewel mines. When they opened the door, you can imagine that to their surprise when they saw their cottage all cleaned up. "What kind of magic is this?" said one of the dwarfs, whose name was Dot. "It wouldn't I wouldn't mind more magic like this," said another of the dwarfs, with a smile. His name was Dopey. "We'd better check upstairs," said another dwarf, whose name was Grumpy. "Something is fishy around here, and that's for sure." Well, there, laying across all their beds, was a young lady fast asleep. "Who are you?" said the dwarfs all at once. Snow White bolted away. The 7 dwarfs could tell that she was surprised as they were. Soon they all relaxed and shared their stories. Snow White learned their names: Bashful, Doc, Dopey, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, and Sneeze. She told them all about her stepmother, and that her stepmother had tried to get the huntsman to kill her, and that the huntsman had set her free in the woods, and that she could never go back home again. "Well, stay here with us," said Bashful. "Well, that's sweet," said Snow White, "but if I were to stay here at your home, I would have to do something for all of you." "You already cleaned up our place," said Sneezy. "Keeping the house clean will be easy," said Snow White. "As long as we all pitch in, I will let everyone know what part they can do, and I will do my share too, of course." "That's fair," said Happy. "But there must be something else I can do for you," said Snow White. 7 dwarfs shrugged. "Do you know how to read?" said Doc. "Well, we have these books filled with wonderful tales and would love to be able to read them." And so it was agreed Snow White would teach them all how to read. To celebrate their new friendship, Snow White and the 7 dwarfs sang and danced the night away. The next morning, before they left for work, the 7 dwarfs warned Snow White that she must not open the door to anyone. After all, who knows what evil her stepmother might do? The princess nodded in agreement, and the dwarfs left the house. Frances prepared her first reading lesson, and she also prepared a good hot meal for the 7 dwarfs when they returned home that night. And so the days passed. Hi ho, hi ho, it's off to work we go. We dig some stuff from out the dust. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. It's off to work we go. We dig some stuff from out of the dust. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. Well, back at the castle, the queen marched up to the mirror. "Mirror, mirror on the wall," she demanded, "who is the fairest of them all?" "Snow White is the fairest of them all," said the magic mirror. "Snow White is the This is impossible," screamed the queen. "The girl is no longer alive." "Snow White lives," said the magic mirror, and an image was shown on the mirror of Snow White living in the cottage of the seven dwarfs, while the queen turned red with rage. She screamed, "Who does she think she is? Snow White will now not get away with this." And at the cottage, all the dwarfs the next afternoon, when the seven dwarfs were away at work, there was a knock on the door. "Who is it?" said Snow White. She remembered the warning of the seven dwarfs not to open the door to anyone. "It is only a poor old woman," came a squeaky voice, "selling apples." Yet it was the evil queen, disguised as an old woman. "It's running, it's raining out here, my dear," said her voice through the door. "Please let me in." Poor thing, thought Snow White, having to go door to door selling apples in the rain. And as she opened the door, "Take a look at this big red apple," said the old woman, who, as you know by now, is really the queen in disguise. She held the red apple close to Snow White's face. "Lovely, my dear, isn't it?" "I would like very much to buy your apple," said Snow White, "but I have no money." "That's fine. That's a fine comb in your hair. It will make a good trade," she said the old woman. "Well, all right then," said Snow White, and she took the comb out of her hair and she gave it to the old woman, who then gave her the apple. Snow White took a big bite. Alas, the fruit was poisoned, and at once Snow White fell to the ground in a deep sleep. "Yes," shouted the queen, pumping the air with her fists. "Yes, yes, yes." Just then the door flew open. In marched the seven dwarfs, home from the day's work. Shocked, indeed, they were to find Snow White laying on the floor, and what must be her stepmother beside her, laughing, while they chased the evil queen out the door and into the storm, up to the very top of a mountain. They chased her, and all of a sudden the lightning hit the mountain. The queen fell, and she was never seen again. But there was nothing to help poor Snow White. She stayed absolutely still in her deep sleep. The seven dwarfs gently lifted her into a glass coffin. Day and night they kept watch over her. One day the prince happened to pass through. Ever since he had learned that Snow White was missing at the castle, he was searching for her far and wide. Now he had finally found her, but in such a state. The prince pulled out, opened the glass coffin. Her face seemed so fresh, even in that deep sleep. He gently took one of Snow White's hands in his own hand, and he kissed it. At once Snow White's eyes opened up with love's first kiss. The evil queen's spell was forever gone. Now nothing stood in the way from Snow White and the prince to get married forever. They returned to the prince's kingdom and lived happily ever after. And there you have it. That was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. All right, now then, we're going to do the daily bread portion of the program. Daily bread portion of the program is going to be brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2023. The Bible with Briscoe 2023 is a daily reading of the Bible, which is to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2023 will be Jeremiah 43 through 45 and Hebrews 5. So don't forget to tune in to the Bible with Briscoe 2023 for your daily reading of the Bible. All right, knowing the shepherd's voice is where our today's devotion. is in the Daily Bread portion of the program, and we're going to be reading today's scriptures and insight, which will be John 10, 1 through 10. John 10, 1 through 10. The Good Shepherd and his sheep. Very truly I tell you, Pharisees, anyone who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climbs in by some other way, is a thief and a robber. The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen for his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought uh, all out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize a stranger's voice. Jesus used this figure of speech, but the Pharisees did not understand what he was trying to tell them. And therefore Jesus said this again. Very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who have come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep have not listened to them. I am the gate. However, whoever enters through me will be saved. They will come in and go out and find pastures. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. And there you go. That's the Daily Bread portion of the program, Knowing the Shepherd's Voice. And that was brought to you today by the Bible with Frisco 2023. A daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Alrighty, my friends. Hey, that looks like it. That looks like it all. So here we go. One more song for you. And it goes. Goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Do. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. This here has been Shenandoah Frisco saying good hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning into the Shen Show. And as always, God loves you and so do I. So come back and see me tomorrow because, well, hey, I'll be here. Y'all know it. And check you later. Bye. Have a blessed day.